Last day of OTAs. Then we go to minicamp, and then we take a long break. But let's see what happened at OTAs today, and I got some other news and notes. What is up, fans? Like I said in the intro, it's the last day of OTAs. They only get 6, and today being the last Thursday, the 5th. Next week, the 10th, 11th, and 12th is mandatory mini camps. I will talk about that later in the video. Make sure I get you guys your calendar of the day. And I got some little things I want to talk about. We're going to look at some things from OTAs today. And I got some news, some great news for out-of-market Miami Dolphin fans. But let's jump into it first. First, the Miami Dolphins have signed defensive tackle Ben Stiller. Cool. Can't body depth on the defensive tackle position. Your orange jersey of the day was Jalen Wright. Very happy to see that. I want, great success for him this year. I'm going to talk about his position and everyone when I get into my camp position battles, which will start the week after. So the 16th will be my first camp position battle video, and we're going to talk quarterbacks. We do quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, tight ends. We're doing each position, talking about who's battling for a position spot and who's battling to start. Going to be a good series. It's going to run all the way through until training camp. But Jalen Wright is your orange jersey. Last orange jersey of OTAs. Then you got Benito Jones here.
I got a list because I don't deserve it.
Saying hi. And then this one's interesting because Aaron Brewer has lost a lot of weight and Jalen Waddle put a lot of weight on. Like look at Brewer's looking thin and Waddle's looking big. Like, this is going to be an interesting season for these two guys. Waddle's probably going to be trucking some people, and Brewer, they might put him at a tight end. They switched their jerseys. Last day, hottie ha's and hootie hoos and all that stuff. So that's OTAs. Again, the media was not there, so there was no in-depth information. We will find out. I think they'll be there for all 3 mandatory mini camps. So I'll get you more information. Again, that is the 10th, 11th, and 12th. Now, before I get into some things I want to talk about with mandatory mini camp, and I will do a preview, I think, on the 9th. I also have I got a lot to talk about. So for the out-of-market Dolphin fans, myself included, but I have NFL Plus, so I can watch whatever preseason game I want live. But for the NFL mostly for the Miami Dolphin out-of-market fans, and there's a good amount of you guys comment and talk to me a lot. Even if you're in Tampa, I think at some points if you're in Tampa or if you're up in Jacksonville or something, you might not be able to get the Dolphin games. I got some good news for you. The first week's preseason game against the Chicago Bears will be on the NFL Network live, which is fantastic. And not only that, week 3 against the Jacksonville Jaguars at home will be live on the NFL Network that Saturday, which is awesome. Now, the second one, week 2, for your out-of-market people, then you're going to need to use NFL Plus because it's not on. Like if you're in Miami or Detroit, you can watch it on, I think, Channel 4 or Channel 2. I think it's CBS. But the first 2 games are on TV, which is fantastic. Now, I don't have cable down here. I only have a TV antenna, so I'm going to be using my YouTube TV, so I'll be behind. But it's preseason, so if anyone's like, you're behind like a play and a half, I'm just going to be like, it's preseason. I more want to see who's doing what, how are the backups doing. Like with preseason, and again, I'll get into this before preseason starts. What I look for is like when the starters are out there, can they drive down the field, score a touchdown? Cool, take them off the field. Then with the backups, I want to see them do well. I want to see them compete. I want to see them make plays. The third and fourth stringers, same. So that's all I really care about with the preseason. But again, very, very happy for the out-of-market Dolphin fans that get to see 2 preseason games because to me, it's important. So the thing I want to talk about, and I might have titled it this, next week is mandatory minicamps, and you need to be there. I think this is from Omar Kelly put this out, which I will be talking with him later today. If players skip the mandatory minicamp each team holds, they are subject to a series of fines that could add up to just under $105,000. It's a maximum fine of $17,462 for the first day, $34,925 for the second day, and $52,381 for the third day. So it keeps going up and up and up. However, players can opt to attend minicamp but aren't forced to participate because of NFL's new CBA agreement. As long as they are in attendance, they can't be fined and they don't have to practice. And why I'm bringing that up is Sealer, Jonnu, and Jalen Ramsey. Now, I want to see if Jonnu shows up for mandatory minicamp. I also want to see if he does on the field stuff. Same thing with Sealer. Now, obviously, Jonnu, it's well known out there that he wants, a little bit more money in his contract, being with the whole trade situation with the Steelers and on and off, on and off, on and off. But Sealer, he got a 3-year deal, 2 years ago. He's probably, in my opinion, he's outperformed it. I think he's playing fantastic. And giving him an extension kind of lowers his cap hit right now because you can move money around and do whatever you need to do. I think he's getting like 11 million right now, but I also want to lock him down for the longevity of his career because he can be that staple. Him and Grant can be that staple on our defensive line. It was him and Wilkins. They let Wilkins go because he got 25 million a year. Now you got Kenneth Grant. Lock down Sealer before he becomes more expensive. Say he gets 13 sacks this year because he got 10, 11 last year. So to me, I'm giving Sealer a contract extension. Now, I don't know if the Dolphins are. I don't know if the Dolphins are not doing anything for the future because there is an uncertainty for the future, and that is a possibility. But then again, Jonnu Smith, will he show up or will he lose money? And Jalen Ramsey. Now, the whole Ramsey situation can coincide with him and McDaniel. Again, if you watch the Dolphin Collective, Alan and Omar really kind of talk about what happened and where the disconnect was with Ramsey and McDaniel and Greer, and why all of a sudden he wants to be traded and why the Dolphins are openly trading him. But will he show up for mandatory minicamps to not be fined $105,000? Or being that he is due so much money and has made so much money over the previous 2 seasons he's been with the Dolphins, he's like, I don't care about 105. I'm not going to that facility and I don't want to stand there. It's going to be very interesting to see if he is there Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday of next week. But again, the biggest thing that I'm looking at is Sealer. Does Sealer show up? And if he shows up, does he participate? Because when he was due a contract extension, he showed up, he participated, he almost had an injury, and then he got his contract extension. So I'm really interested to see who shows up where. I'm really interested to see who shows up where around the NFL. If you didn't know, Aaron Rodgers, what did he say? He said something like he's going to the Steelers, essentially. It was known that he's going to the Steelers. And somebody said something. Oh, so essentially, Renegade, this is from Tom Pelissero. Renegade A-Rod, 4-time NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers informed the Steelers he'll fly to Pittsburgh on Friday and sign before next week's minicamp, source tells the insiders. Like, how pompous could you be? I used to like Aaron Rodgers before all this stuff with the Jets and his darkness retreat and then him, doing all this crap. He's so arrogant. Like he told Pittsburgh, now that OTAs is over, I'll sign now. I'll come to you and sign. If I was Pittsburgh, I'd say kick rocks. We're going to trade for Kirk Cousins. You go play wherever else you want to play. We don't want you. It's even how he held the Jets hostage and they had to bring in Lazard and Cobb and his offensive coordinator and all this stuff. Please come play for us. We need a quarterback. That's what he's doing. He's using teams that are desperate for a quarterback. And he's like, okay, you asked me enough. I'll come. But the interesting thing about that, week 1, they play the Jets. So you got Aaron Rodgers versus the Jets and you have Justin Fields versus the Steelers. That's going to be a good game to watch. But that's what I got for you today. Short one. short and sweet. Again, it's the last day of OTAs. I wanted to give you a little information here and there, talk about a bunch of other things. I will be on live with the Dolphin Collective in about an hour and a half. So come hang out. Feel like what you see, subscribe. Don't feel like you need to. And tomorrow so like I was going to say, I have so many videos planned for the month and a half that there is no football. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And one of them's a series. So I have so much content for you guys. So don't worry. Hit that subscribe button. I have a reaction video I want to do tomorrow to an article. So I'll see you tomorrow. But like usual, stay classy. And fins up.